Welcome to Believe in 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Tasia Dash. Believe in 76ers is presented by BetOnline.ag.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Believe in 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Tasia Dash. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing good. How are you all doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, can't complain. Thanksgiving week. Got like we said last week, it's finally here. We got the food, we got football games, we got basketball games, we got in-season tournament play. And then, of course, some of us still have, turkey bowls that we're going to be playing on this week. So, I was drinking, hydrating, getting ready for my big flag football game Friday.
Good luck with that.
Yep.
I'm a six-time reigning champion of the Turkey Bowl. So we're looking to extend the streak this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
little Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, I like to call myself Oklahoma Baker Mayfield, Eric.
Is that what it is?
Dasher Mayfield. But yeah, tonight's a big night as far as the in-season tournament play. We play Cleveland, and it looks like they're already we're gonna get to the game picks later, but it looks like they're already calling it in for this one, waving the white flag for this game with the amount of inactives they have for tonight's game. But yeah, it should be fun to see how this whole thing unravels and see what the in-season tournament play when it gets like the tournament style play. Can't wait to see how that goes. That's 2 weeks from now, Eric?
I believe so. The finals, yes. I believe it's like the 7th or the 9th. I think semifinals and finals.
Do you guys know if that's held at is that a neutral site for all the games?
T-Mobile in Vegas.
Oh, that's great. That'd be fun.
I believe the semifinals and finals.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they keep saying make it to Vegas. I keep hearing that.
That's right.
That's right. So I know that they because the finals is what the game that is just is the only extra game, correct? They don't count on the record.
Oh, is it? Okay, that makes sense.
It does. I think the semifinals game, they make up. I think they make up the league. I don't know, add to the schedule because I think the schedules only had 80 games, if I remember right.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And I think they added 2 more games for the teams that didn't make it. And then
interesting. Okay, that makes sense because those are our last, or whoever makes his 2 games, and then everyone else has got to they got to do on the fly, I guess.
Yes. So I believe that week, if you look at some schedules, I believe that week is probably no game schedule.
Yeah,
but it will be.
It's an extra work for the schedule makers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have an idea who's going to play who, or a range of teams. You probably have each team probably has a range of teams that they'll play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So interesting.
It will be interesting. Yeah. It's a fun little wrinkle to see how this goes. And so far, it seems like all the players are liking it. And usually people have a lot of bad things to say. Eric, I don't think we asked you. What do you think about the courts? I like the fact that there's a distinguishing from the regular season games, and then you have the in-season tournament games, and we clearly know which ones are in-season tournament games based on these.
I do like that when the in-season tournament is being played. Some courts are better than others. Some of them is a little too much. Somebody's court, I don't know if it was a Hawk or somebody, it was just so much red. I was just like, man, I can't take all this red on the court. But, it's different. The trophy could be, you could have just went with the big trophy in the middle. I mean, so I don't know. I'm not against it. I do like you said, I do like that they distinguish the difference. I do like that.
Yeah.
The design, some are okay, some, can a little too much for me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I believe the Jazz core was like purple on purple. It was kind of it was a little too much purple, and then I think the Heat core had a lot of red in it. Yeah, but no, nonetheless, I like the NBA's trying something new. It's something that a lot of these other sport leagues.
Yeah, I'm excited about the tournament though. I do like it.
Yeah. But all right, so tonight is some in-season tournament play for us, so we're gonna get into some of that later. But I want to ask you guys a little bit about our following up our last time we were on the show. We had the two losses in a row. But since then, we've had 2 straight road wins against the Hawks and the Nets. Hawks being an in-season tournament game, both by double digits. Embiid didn't even play in the fourth quarter of the Brooklyn Nets game with the crazy stat line that he had. But after 2 back-to-back losses, what was the response of this team to come out and win these 2 straight games on the road in just dominating fashion? What did that tell you about the squad?
Well, I mean, I think that they're, they can get through some adversity so far. Things don't go their way. They're able to, gather the troops and stay locked in and go out and win a game. So it's not where you're playing well and all of a sudden, as soon as it goes bad, and all of a sudden the season's in trouble. I think so. That's some maturity and growth in the team that you see early on. So, but that happens when you're locked in and you're held accountable and you're holding each other accountable. And at the same time, you have players that are really good. You have a dominant player like you do with Joel, and everyone else playing their roles and playing the consistency. These are the things that happen, and that consistency is on both ends of the court as well.
Tasia, what were your takeaways?
I think for the most part, my assumptions based on their close losses have been pretty right on. They're just an extremely confident, well-coached, focused basketball team with a lot of depth. We have the second highest point differential in the league at +9 a game, behind, you guessed it, the Celtics. We've lost some tough, close games. We're beating teams by an average of 14 points. We're 4-1 on the road, which is the second best road winning percentage in the league. We're the second highest scoring third quarter in the league, which compared to 5th worst last year. So that's a huge jump. I think we're scoring about 5 to 6 more points a game in the third quarter than last year. And this is all with a work in progress roster. So it's awesome to see that. Like this, I think we can only go up from here.
Yeah, and big thing to take away from at least one of these games was Nicholas Batum coming back. And Embiid was a big fan of Nicholas Batum coming back. So just a few stats about Batum. So since we've acquired Nicholas Batum, Sixers are perfect 5-0. And the big thing is everyone's talking about is his plus minus. He's got a +76 for the 76ers since being on the squad, which is wild. Also ironic, +76 with the 76ers. Maybe he just keeps that for the rest of the season. Yeah. But Embiid had some great comments to say about Batum. Quote, "He's the key. He's special. With the way we play, he just fits everything we need. Great shooter, great defender, great passer, great basketball IQ. He just fits everything we need." So my question is, and also there's just ties here with them. I believe Batum was born in France, but his dad is of Cameroonian descent. So there is some that ties they have together, and they've been friends off the court for years, which I didn't know until there was an article written about it after we traded for him. But what do you guys think about Batum? Do you think he's the key? Do you think he is the glue guy for our squad?
Well, I mean, if you look at him historically, he has been looked at as that type of guy, and for other teams and and his role. I think, like with a lot of players, when he signed the bigger contract and the responsibilities became more, that's when you kind of see people see him differently. I think with the Clippers, it kind of was a roller coaster, where he was looked at in the manner that he's kind of looked at now with the Sixers, and then he was frowned upon in other ways. So I believe if the consistency can stay there, the role can be defined to where it's realistic. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we give these guys roles, or they have roles that sometimes I believe aren't realistic as far as maintaining that for a season.
Mm-hmm.
I think if that happens, he can definitely help us. I mean, the versatility, he can play big, he can play small, he can spread the court, knock down the shot, decent, handling the ball, not a turnover guy. So I mean, he can definitely help us, as you can tell when he's on the court, good things are happening. So he's a guy that I think we can benefit from, especially his maturity and experience when playoff time comes.
Yeah, I think we needed a guy like this for like years. Maybe that's why Embiid's so enthusiastic about it. We've just been missing someone like this. I think we've tried getting guys. I think, more to the point, I think he's exactly what we wanted Tucker to be for us. So he's kind of like Tucker production, but not as like outspoken and doggy, right? He doesn't have that. I don't think Batum's going to pull Embiid aside in a game.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of looked upon as far as the glue guys, but I don't think they're similar. I think in the manner and the way that they play, because I don't see Batum being the guy that we can go try to put it on Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just see it differently. I see the impact being similar, but the style of play being totally different, and the role being different.
I think Batum, we lose the Jokic defending, but we gain, I think, some of the quicker wing defending also. I think I would be more comfortable putting Batum on Tatum for more possessions than I would have been for like PJ Tucker. You know what I mean? So, we lose a little of the big, I guess, flexibility, but we gain, I guess, some of the wing flexibility, which I don't mind so much. And then, he has the highest. Sorry, I looked at some stats. He has the highest effective 2-point percentage on our team, highest offensive rating on the team, highest total rebound percentage on the team. Out of the top 5 lineups that produced the best point differential, he's in 2 of them. And interesting enough, which I found kind of cool, one of the better lineups that produced a plus 64.3 is a lineup with him, Harris, Maxey, Reed, and Springer, which I was like, okay, that's interesting. Plus 64. He's just such a good glue guy. He makes all the right plays. He's the basketball player, like cliche in a good way. Like he just makes the right plays. You hear that all the time, but he just totally embodies that. I really want to keep him. I don't think we have any plans to move him, but I'm sure for the right deal for the guy we want, I'm sure we would. But if he could stick around as long as possible, and if we do replace him, at this point, I think he's shown us the exact kind of player we would need moving forward at that 3. I think that is the prototype of player. So if you are going to replace him, you got to replace him with like a rich man's version of what he is, like a younger version of that.
Who would you put him on? Like what players in the league would you compare him to that you're thinking of?
It's tough. I mean, funny enough, probably a close comp would be kind of an Anunoby type, really. He's got that in him.
Here we go.
I wasn't playing this, but
this guy fits every role that's ever come up with the Sixers.
It's a decent comp for him, though.
This guy's fit every role. I mean, come on, man. He can't fit everything.
I knew you were gonna say Anunoby too. It's a funny.
Look, they're about an inch apart height. He can play wings. He can rebound. He can hit open shots. He makes the right kind of plays. It's not like sexy or flashy. Either one of them, they're not, but they're really good players. I mean, if you want to get to the brass tacks, I love Batum's contract. And I love that he makes what he makes as opposed to, Anunoby, who's going to be making a lot more than that, probably triple, maybe even quadruple more than what he makes.
And you won't like him when someone's going to get his money.
Hey, Batum's happy with his contract, so I'm happy if he's happy.
I'm just letting you know.
But yeah, that would be like a comp. I'd have to think about that. Other guys that kind of fit that Batum mold. But yeah, that'd be one. And obviously, it came to mind because we've been in like talks about getting him for the past 6 months or so, 3 months. But yeah, I just think that at least we know now, and we said this, right? Like this whole period is obviously about winning games, but at the same time, we're planning for this year and beyond. So we need to know what kind of players really fit that. So when Embiid says stuff like that, he's saying like, A, don't get rid of him. And if you do, replace him with a player like that. We want like that. You put a classified out for that kind of player. So
if the front office is listening to him, they're not gonna trade him.
Yeah.
And keep him around.
It's the French connection, baby.
Yeah, French connection. Yeah, exactly.
I bet you that's a T-shirt on some website right now.
If there's got to be a French connection shirt with Batum and Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a nice snapshot of them from the Brooklyn Nets game this past weekend.
There you go.
Yeah. But Eric, do you obviously we make a joke of the OG Anunoby comparison to Batum, but like if you're trying to think of a player comp, maybe someone younger than Batum, who would be someone you would think maybe could fit that mold of Batum if we were trying to get younger, like a younger guy like that?
I mean, the team that we just played has a couple guys like that. Hunter from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Very similar. So there's some guys out there like that. I don't know if there's many guys out there that's going to fit Patage's salary request, but yeah, it's some guys out there. That are have that. I think the kid from Minnesota that they just gave a contract to.
That's a good McDaniel. Yeah, that's a good one.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Is that his brother that played with us?
Yep.
But, he's similar. You probably find some guys on many teams that are sort of like that.
Cam Johnson for the Nets.
Yeah, I see Cam as a little different because I see him more strictly 4. I don't see him more as much 3 as some of those other guys. Whereas Batum, I've always seen him as a 3-4, not a 4-3.
Yeah. Wiggins.
Yeah, but I think Wiggins is better. He's playing a role there. Yeah. He's playing a role there, but Wiggins has been a 20-point scorer.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm trying to think of like other comps like that. Wiggins. It's not easy.
You go through the league and you can find some guys. Some of the guys are younger, but some of the guys aren't as maybe established and didn't necessarily become a starter. Like a guy like Prince from the Lakers is very similar.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Just didn't have the big contract, and that's what I'm saying. Like some people are looked differently because they haven't really had that big contract and those expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But Batum and Prince are, what I'm saying, their roles are very similar. Right now,
Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, but Harrison has been the guy though. Batum's never really been the guy. Is what I'm saying. Like he's never really Harrison was looked at as to be a 1 or 2 option. That's where I say it's different. Like Wiggins and Harrison Barnes, those guys during their career has been looked at to be a 1 or 2 option. So I'm saying maybe now it's a comp, but not. I'm looking career wise.
Okay, I'm just looking at like if you were like casting a role for like Batum.
Sacramento would never give up Harrison Barnes for Batum. But
no,
we would.
No.
But we would though. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That tells you where it's different.
Yeah. I'm talking about like swapping out guys, but these are the kind of guys you'd make the kind of calls for them, right?
Yeah. Well, lucky we were able to pry him away from the Clippers. I know they didn't want to throw him in the trade, but we somehow got him. So
I see why now.
Yeah.
Back then, I'd be like, "What? They're not doing this over Batum." But I'm looking at it now. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay. I see why they didn't want to do that."
Yeah, keeping.
Here's a good one. I'd rather have Batum, but it is close. Jeff Green. Can play some 3, can play some undersized 4. Smart player.
He's been playing undersized 5 too.
I know. Yeah, like a tweener between Covington and Batum, actually. Yeah. Royce O'Neal, kind of similar. Also,
yeah.
All right, so what's that?
You got me going looking for comps.
I know.
I mean, what's the guy from the other guys are even better comp for the Nets. Finney Smith.
Oh, Finney Smith, yeah.
That's another good one. Yep. Yeah, they got a lot of those guys, huh?
They do. Yeah, they got a lot of those wing types in that Durant trade.
Yeah, that's a whole other discussion. They need to do something with it. They got a lot of redundancy in just weird lineups and flows on that team.
Yeah, there's suddenly been this big thing on the Sixers Twitter as far as being able to trade our assets to get Bridges. It ain't happening.
That's not going to happen.
He was a centerpiece of a Durant trade. We ain't getting him for a bunch of first-round pick swaps. It ain't happening.
Nah.
I wish.
Not happening.
I don't know. Maybe Sean Marks might do it. I don't know.
Good luck with that.
And he's young as hell. He doesn't want to be tortured the next, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Nah, no way.
All right, so we're going to get to our final topics here. We got game picks. So, obviously, NBA in-season tournament action tonight. Sixers hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's the Eric Snow Classic again, both of us Snow squads. So, we are a 7.5-point favorite in this one tonight. Cleveland will be without Donovan Mitchell, Okoro. Karis LeVert is a game-time decision, so we'll see about that one. I think the line opened up at 8.5 points, but we are now a 7.5-point favorite. The only person out for us tonight is Kelly Oubre. So who do you guys have in this one, and what do you guys think the score will be?
I got to go back to what I'm doing and picking this all the time because I was horrible this weekend. Yeah, with those guys out, you always got to be cautious about that. But I think with the in-season tournament, and we already gave up a game and points difference matters, you'll see us win and cover the spread. Because I think there won't be much pullback as far as later in the game. I think your points is going to matter. It's going to feel like it's AAU ball and it's a little personal, but points is going to matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we light them up. We've been very cognizant of the point differential mattering. Embiid got in a scuffle in the Detroit game because he kept trying to shoot a 3 at the end of the game. Those are the rules. Tiebreakers are going to happen, and you're going to need to break some ties with some point differential. We're 1.5 lower than the Pacers. We're 2.5 under the Heat. We're 4 points under the Knicks. These are going to matter for maybe that wild card to get into the final 8. So, yeah, there's our last game. So if we're going to do it, we need to take care of business now and boost that point differential up. So, yeah, I think we beat them by double digits.
Yeah, and then so that's the first night of a back-to-back. Then Wednesday night we travel to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who's been another. People talk about the Sixers being a surprise team this year. Minnesota Timberwolves have been another surprise team so far in this early stretch of the season so far. We are a 2-point underdog at Minnesota tomorrow night. The line just came out. Who do you guys have in that one, and what do you think the score will be?
Well, I guess I got to revert back. That's going to be tough. That's a tough road trip.
Back-to-back, too.
Back-to-back game. Not even sure that we'll ever want to play. So I got a feeling this will be a game, especially with 2 days in between. It's different because when I played, you would have a back-to-back and you would say, oh, I got 2 days off after this. I'm going to play. You know what I'm saying? Because I got 2 days off. Where now the thinking is, well, if I don't play in this game, I got 3 days off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Long weekend.
It's so different. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think we lose. And
does playing, Eric, as a former player, does playing on the eve of Thanksgiving have like any kind of like maybe not homesick, but like maybe want to get back to the fam, like playing the night before Thanksgiving? Is that kind of mess with it at all?
No, I mean, because most of the time your plans are already made based on where you are. So it's not the day of. It's really the eve is really just another game. I mean, you already know, like, if you're going to be gone and you're going to be away for the holiday, you've already made your plans if your family's going to join you or not. Like, those plans are already made, and more than likely they'll come where you are, or you'll take a, nowadays these guys can take a private plane wherever they want to go. So those plans are already made. So it's no real kind of trying to figure it out. It's not like, you're in college or something like that, and you're trying to hurry up and get home, and it's really no deal with it. Well, sometimes Christmas Day is tough, especially if you're on the road where you're trying to make those plans. But like I said, most of those plans are already made, and you now it's just about playing the game.
Yeah, they're off Thursday and Friday, so Wednesday night's the last game until they go travel to OKC on Saturday.
Yeah, so you could see guys, you make a decision. Either do you go back to Philly? I mean, I would imagine they probably go back to Philly, where it's a road trip. But I believe that they'll leave after the game Friday, go back to Philly, and then go to Oklahoma City on Friday.
Yeah, because
of the holiday. Whereas if it wasn't the holiday, they would probably stay on the road.
Yeah. We're 2-point underdogs, you said?
Yep, +2. Both teams 10-3.
Before we declare anyone out, they're trying to make us the underdog, so maybe people pour some money into us, and before maybe Embiid's declared out, and then it goes to like minus. Then it goes like +6 when that happens. Smart. It's good of them. They put both of our games on the board, huh?
Could be our first game where we see substantial Mo Bamba minutes if he's out. Big team.
Yeah. Do you also? I mean, that'd be Embiid's first game sitting, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I wonder if we do that, we just go ahead and sit like 2 or 3 guys on that one. Like, just be like, you know what? It's all right, guys. Get your rest here. We have good depth though, but we don't have the kind of depth to be putting up against Twin Towers. So that's going to be, if he's out, Gobert's going to have like 20 rebounds in that game, man. I'm going to go Minnesota. Minnesota probably like around. If Embiid doesn't play out, I'm making this decision with probably guys sitting out. I'm going to say they win by like 8-12.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 of the top teams in the league right now, both 10-3.
We'll see how the line shifts though once they actually declare people out. Because if they don't shift that much after that, that means they're actually trying to force people to go into Minnesota. But if they jump a lot, then it's like, man, they got what they wanted on this one.
Well, I think as of right now, the line stands. I think that is telling people to take Minnesota as the line stands right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
You and I see it. You and I see that differently.
What's wrong with one of the top teams? You're giving one of the top teams +2.
It's a small spread at home though, for a team that has the same record.
That's because we're really good. We're not going to slouch.
Yeah. A lot of good games tomorrow night, though. I'm already looking at the slate. You got Boston and Milwaukee tomorrow at Boston. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Okay, that's really the only other good game tomorrow.
Okay, well.
I was looking at the slate. That was the only.
You talked it up though. Yeah,
you did. It sounded great. It sounds great.
Well, you got that game. Then you got the Minnesota-Philadelphia game. There's only 2 games that I see that are. Yeah.
Is that I assume the Boston-Milwaukee's the
ESPN game?
ESPN, of course.
It has to be. Yeah. And they just flexed the December 1st Sixers Celtics game to ESPN.
Oh, really?
They just flexed that today. So, yeah. They must have got
Wednesday. Okay. And that's in Boston, right? Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's in Boston, yep.
Because we already played both at Philly, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of early Boston-Philadelphia games. Usually they try to
push them back.
Make this last.
Tag them out a little bit throughout the season.
Huh.
Yeah, 3 in the first, 12 games of the season.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But, this is a tough stretch for us as far as, who we're playing. So, kind of already started.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then we got OKC this weekend and LeBron in LA, but in Philadelphia on Monday. So,
yeah. When's that Monday? Next Monday?
Yeah, this coming Monday. Yes, we play LA at home.
That's not a national televised game?
I think it might be NBA TV game.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm already on our schedule. It is NBA TV. Yep.
That'll be a good one.
So tonight's TNT and then NBA TV on. Yeah.
A lot of nationally televised games. Love it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we hope everybody has a safe and healthy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone eats a lot of good food. I know I'm saying healthy, but that's a part of it. That being healthy is eating a lot of good food on Thanksgiving. So we hope everyone does that. Hope everyone enjoys themselves. And thanks for tuning in to Believe in 76ers, guys.
All right, take it easy.
Later on.
See you, everybody.